This year was a very dramatic year for the PTE exam. A lot of changes happened in this particular year. It started with the trial questions, people got confused, and then the changes for the templates for the retail lecture and describe image, and then finally the templates getting banned. So it's time to look at the current state of the exam with some good news and some surprising news. And it's time to find out what's particularly happening in the month of December 2024 and January 2025 before you take the exam. So watch it till the end. Lots of information coming your way. Hey everyone, this is Anurag here from Edutrainex PTE. I hope you all are doing good. So in order to prepare this particular video, we did a lot of research and analysis of not only the questions, the repeated questions, the students' interviews, the student skills profile assessment, and then I also tried some official mock tests myself to see what changes are happening in the exam. So watch this video right till the end for the good news and the surprising news. Whatever information is there, I'm going to share it with you as it is. Like and subscribe. And if you need any paid assistance, just WhatsApp us. You will get a lot of facilities, as you can see on this particular side of the screen. Lots of things coming your way when you join us as live students. Not only you crack the exam, but you also get lots of benefits. So it's time to look at what's particular happening in the PTE exam right now. So the first particular change or good news or surprising news that you might say is happening in the PTE exam. In the reading module, a lot of students are complaining that the scores are dropping. What is the reason? Whether the questions are difficult, whether the words are unknown. It's important to analyze what is happening in the exam. So we did that score analysis of the students, we did the response analysis of the students, and then we saw the repeat questions as well, what is coming in the exam in this particular month and what is going to come for you as well. So not only students are complaining on the YouTube, but they are personally contacting me that the reading module has become difficult in the exam. So please make some video on providing some guidance. So let's listen to one of the students' experience. What happened with him in the exam right now?
Yes, sir. I think the exam was very difficult this time for reading module. I got high score before, but this time I got very low score in the reading module. I don't know why, sir. I was not able to understand the words that were mentioned in the fill in the blanks question. It seemed also difficult, and many of them were context-based. There was grammar-based as well, but I could not understand.
So when we got such responses from students and from the students on the YouTube, then we started analyzing the questions and also gave some mock tests to see what is happening in the exam. And the verdict was what you just heard in this particular response from the student himself. What he found difficult was being unable to recognize the words that are mentioned in the passages. So reading fill in the blanks, I keep telling you that vocabulary is a very important skill that you must acquire, especially to crack the reading, writing fill in the blanks. Now, what he was talking about, there were some grammar questions. Most of the reading fill in the blanks questions are based on grammar. But you might have noticed that this student did not put too much time to improve his grammars, and that's why he was struggling on the grammar as well. So the words get different, and that's why I keep making those videos on the vocabulary words that are coming in the exam right now. And you need to be very familiar with those particular words, because if you don't know those words, then the questions and the exam will become a lot difficult for you. And then you will again start complaining that, sir, PT reading module has become difficult, I'm getting low scores, whatnot. So what's the problem here? You already know 70% of the questions that we analyzed, all of the questions that we analyzed for this month and the exam questions, 70% are still crackable in reading fill in the blanks using the grammar. 30% are context based, where you need to understand the meaning of the words, the vocabulary. So 70%, 80% of time the grammar is definitely going to help you. But on top of it, if you don't know the meaning of the words, even after shortlisting out of 8 words, if you shortlist only 2 or 3 words, you still need to apply the meaning there, right? So you understand what is the problem here. Lack of vocabulary is the most important thing that is happening right now. It may be the time, it's year end, so maybe the PT is shuffling the words. And again, I am going to show you throughout the next year what words are getting repeated. Keep watching that. Now, we have covered what's happening in the PT reading module. Let's transition to or move to the PT speaking module. What's happening there? Okay, apart from the changes that happened in the exam lately for describe image and retail lecture, I wanted to show you a response of one of the students who witnessed a very, very surprising result. So what happened initially? He got 76 in speaking after the exam changes, even though he removed the templates, the bad templates that he was using before. He upgraded his templates, but the speaking scores were still around 58. He was in shock, absolute shock. What happened? I used to speak quite good and I even changed the templates. Then again, what we had to do is sit down with the student, analyze their responses and see what exactly they are lacking with. And we found it. Of course, the third time the student, when he gave the exam, he got 79 plus score, he got an 82 score. So what is the problem? The problem is what I'm going to talk about here. So don't think that this is a very disturbing scenario, disturbing phenomena. Why is it happening in the exam? Is the exam making it very difficult for you to crack? That's not the case. First things first, I made a video on which templates you should stop using immediately. Please stop them and then upgrade your templates and try to use phrases. So the exam keeps on changing. So what you need to do is minimally use the sentences in the templates or structures, if you want to call it. Now we actually call it skeleton based structures, which is giving you half of the response what you need to say, basically providing a structure that is expected by Pearson. And then remaining half you have to speak phrases. Now some students still complain that I'm unable to speak phrases, sir. What should I do? The only solution at this point of time is that you improve. You work hard, you practice, and then you will be able to speak some phrases because they have upgraded the AI. And let's listen to the students' response and then you will find out what the difficulty was, and then I'll reveal you the actual reasons behind it.
I had to give the PT exam 3 times. So first time I was getting 76 in PT speaking, then my scores dropped to 58, and then finally I got my PT speaking scores at 82 with your help, sir. So earlier I was using the simpler templates for describing my little lecture, but then after the exam changes, I changed my template, but I think I was not speaking enough. Then you told me that I have to speak for more than 30 or 35 seconds. And then with the recent attempt, I cleared my exam. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so what did you understand? What the actual problem of the student was? He did change his templates, but he was still getting a low score in the PT speaking module. And the main reason was he was not speaking enough content. He was still using the structure, but he was summing everything up within 25 seconds or close to 20 seconds, which is a major mistake in the PT speaking module. Whatever you are using, whatever structure you are using, if you don't speak for more than 30 or 35 seconds, the AI will flag you for the manual check, and then the human evaluator is going to give you a 0 mark for that question, because they understand that using the templates, longer templates, not speaking enough content is a way of cheating with the exam, and cheating is not acceptable. So at least they are just giving you 0 for that question. So you should understand, you should realize. So those days are gone where you could just realize on the one keyword based templates. Time to upgrade yourself, time to improve yourself. Start speaking phrases, even though it's not making sense grammatically, but you know the clues. I have made enough videos on retell lecture and describe image, providing you the structure based templates. Okay, use that. You will definitely do well, just like this student. Okay, now the another disturbing or surprising thing in the exam is that we have seen that there are delays in the results. Why people are getting the scores after 4 or 5 days? Why is the delay? So first things first, the main reason is that because of the manual checks. So you have to be very conscious whenever you are doing the PT speaking module. You have to speak more than 30 seconds so that you don't get any manual checks. So I've seen many YouTube comments related to this. Sir, I've given the exam, I've not got the results. It's already 3 days or 4 days. Why? So that is one of the primary reasons why people are getting the scores delayed. And if you think your scores are getting delayed and if you see the PT speaking scores dropping down, then you understand that you have made a mistake. You have not spoken enough content in the PT speaking module. But there are other reasons as well. Be careful. I recently made a video on the write from dictation strategies and the extra word. See this thumbnail, the editor will show you here. This is the video where you will understand how you have to use the extra word. Some people just exploit the extra words. They just try to put so many words that in the end, because it's a software, it has limitation. I tell you, keep telling you, don't test the limitations of the software. Use it wisely. Use the extra word wisely only when it is required. So if you are confused about a word, use the extra words, but don't write 100 words in one particular response. The software is going to break. And when it's going to break, they will realize it, they'll find it. Human evaluators will check your response, and the entire write from dictation you will be given a 0. You understand how much important write from dictation is for the exam, right? So it will take down your listening scores down, it will take your writing scores down as well. So don't try to experiment too much with the exam. Leave the experiment to us. We are doing the experiments and guiding you with proper guidance. Okay. So that's how we have created trust with you, and that's how our students are being so successful in the exam. Okay, time to look at another change in the exam. Now, some of you might have already been familiar. I recently made a video on which templates you should stop using, which templates are working, or you should say whether the templates are actually working or not. So yes, templates are still working for the essays, summarized spoken text, but what I am saying is structure-based templates, not too much wordy templates, one keyword templates, just one topic templates. Everything you have to cut aside. Everything you have to throw aside. Every sentence that you write, even in the essays, every other sentence you have to write minimum 6 to 7, or I would say on the safe side, if you are targeting a 79 plus score, 7 sentences you have to write on your own. If you are using a template, half of the phrase what you are writing, you have to write longer phrases, so that the sentences that come out in the end is a combination of simple, compound and complex type of sentences. So that's what is happening in the exam for essays, for SSTs, for summarized spoken text. I have also made a video very recently. So you should watch that, understand, same criteria, same technique we are using everywhere. So you should stop running away from using phrases either in writing or in speaking. Phrases is the only answer at this point of time. In the future, who knows, if the Pearson gets more stricter, then you have to make everything on your own. But at least I would say right now you guys are lucky. At least you can use a skeleton based template and then combine whatever comes to your mind. In writing, you have to be careful about grammar and spelling. In speaking, you just have to be concerned about speaking enough content and then be fluent and also very clear in pronunciation. So all those criteria I have given you in my numerous speaking videos. How you can be successful, you can get from there. So when you are writing, be careful that you have to write more than 5 words whenever you are using a phrase. At least 5 words. If you can write more, much better. And if you can compound the subject verb object combination that I shared with you, how to write a phrase, combine with a conjunction, expand the phrase. So you can write more than 10 words or 12 words on your own. So that's what we do very extensively when people join us for the live classes. We make them, or we do the grammar activities with them, initially teach them how to use prepositions, articles, everything, all grammar pieces together, and then they are able to write simple phrases. Similar to what I showed you in the video. So these are some tips you have to avoid when you are using the templates. This one is especially for writing. And last but not the least, the remaining exam, what with our experience, personal experience and the students' feedbacks collectively, I can say the remaining exam is more or less very same. The difficulty level is still the same for repeat sentence, write from dictation. The length of the sentences or the length of the audios is pretty similar to what have been coming. So no changes there. It's only when you have to do the writing and when you have to do the speaking, those are the areas you need to be careful. And for reading, I already told you, you have to keep working on your vocabulary, strengthen your grammar. Absolutely, this is a deadly combination to clear the PT reading module. Lots of our students have done it. You can also do the same, and if you're still struggling, wherever, complete course, we provide it. Lots of goodies that we provide to our students, inclusive of the cost. You don't need to pay anything extra. Join us. Keep watching Edutrainex, and I'll soon be back with another informative video on PT topics. And if you still haven't watched the video that I made on don't use these templates, stop immediately, dangerous templates, go and watch them now. See you soon.